history book for sure. Charlotte, 21 April 1816, 31 March 1855, was an English and put the oaths of the three who sang into and whose have become classic of English. She first pushed her works in her best known June every underline under the pen name Belle. Charlotte was born in west of in the West Riding of in 1816. The three of the six children of and former son are an English. In 1820, her family moved a few miles to the village of Wentworth. Her father had been of an All Angels Church. Died of on 15 September 1821, leaving five. Charlotte, Emilia, and Anne, a son born to be taken care of by her sister. In August 1824, Saint Charlotte Emilia in Charlotte that the school collection after her and development and hardest the date of Marie born 1814 and Elizabeth born 1815, who both died in June 1825. After the of her older sister, her father removed Charlotte and Emilia from the school. Charlotte used the school and as the basis for Lowood School. In June, at home in Charlotte as the friends and of her younger sister. She sent Emilia and Ellie their own factors words and began sharing the life and start of their imaginary kingdoms. Charlotte and Blanche sang about their and Emilia and Ellie walked and talked about the stages they cut were exposed and they signed in incomplete, some of which have been pushed as well. They provoked them with an obvious interview during childhood and early with them for in between 1831 and 1832. Charlotte continued her reign at had in mind where she met her friends and Prince Emilia and Martine. In 1833, she wore announced the Green refusing the name. She returned to Rohan as a teacher from 1835 to 1838. In 1839, she took up the first of many posts as to families in Warsaw. She pushed until 1841. In from May to July 1839, she was employed by the Sandwich family at their summer stone chapel, where one of her was John 1835-1927, an unwilling child who on one side threw a Bible at Charlotte in they may have been the infant for a part of the opening chapter of June, in which John Wayne threw a book at the young. In 1842, Charlotte and Emilia traveled to Bonn to at the Bonn School run by Colonel 1809-96, and his wife Cousin 1804. In return for both and Charlotte, English, and Emilia taught music. Their time at the school was cut short when their aunt, who had joined the family in Haworth to look after the children. After their mother died of internal aging in October 1842, Charlotte returns alone to Britain in January 1843 to take up a teaching post at the school here. Second set was not happy. She was sick and devoted to contact. She returns to Haworth in January 1844 and used the time spent in Britain as the event for some of the events in Dublin and in May 1846. Charlotte, Emilia, and Ellie went the march of a joint collect of posts under their assigned names Eli and Attack Bell. They visit the sister garden with present their time. Charlotte was carrying bells. Bell was the name of how Bell, not who Charlotte later married Willis. That was the surname of friend Mary Wilson, who had founded their school, and many the father of the to use not be one. Charlotte wrote not to personal reveal our own names under those of John and Attack Bell. Choose began deciding by a sort of surprise as a Christian name perhaps if we did not like to do ourselves women because we lived at that time, then that our mode of resting and thinking was not what it's called. We had an impression that and label to be looked on with, for we had noted how sometimes used for the and for their reward, which is not true. Now only 2 cups of the collection of parts were sold. The sister waiting for and began their first continuing to use the names when sending to Charlotte first mentioned the post did not screen a princess until she was hanging by an response from Smart and call of who expressed an interest in any longer words. Bell makes wish to send Charlotte respond by fishing and sending a sang in August 1847. 6 weeks later, and it was pushed, which tells the story of a plan who, after different in her early life, fell in love with her employee, Mr. Rock. They married, but only after first wife of whom Jane has no how dies in a house for the book was invented, coming to live and broke new in beginning from in first person female perfect. Charlotte believed art was most caring when based on person. In June, she transformed the into other with unvisited apple. Jane had imagined and intended favorable use word that it was an honor for the deepest of us struggling stuff much and spirit and desire that is concept of the profound sign from the about the inner and garden of the mystery Bell house with the of when by Bell from Emily and Angel by Bell and me a this was a change in the culture made to Charlotte work as it was rumored that the restaurant was causing the more ready-made ones. It was surprised that Carly Bell was a woman. However, Sloane of June continued to be strong and may even have incarnated as a result of the developing as an improper book. In 1848, Charlotte began work on the of her second novel. It was only complete when the Warren family saved Scar September 1848, died of it and by having drinking. Charlotte believed that she died with due was also a special attendance. Emilia became strong after that and died of that in December 1848. Annie died of the same in May 1849. Charlotte was unable to write at this time. After Annie died, Charlotte remained as a way of dealing with her with the times of unrest and the role of women in Spain was pushed in October 1849. Unlike June, which is in the first person, when it was in the first person and like the of her first and reviews found it less shocking. Charlotte as her surprise the of any second the of wildfire have an equation with had a different answer on any one as a man and has remained among the system in every science in view of the Jane and Charlotte was by the course to make a visit to London where she her time and began to move in more circles, became friends with him and with Milton and G.H. Lewis. She never left for more than a few weeks at a time, as she did not want to leave her grandfather and any recalled a visit to her father by Charlotte. Two gentlemen came in, landing a little lady with fair starting hair and sun eyes. She may be a little over 430. She is doing in a little with a fast green mouth. She enters in our hearts are beaten with wild accent. That is the unknown power of books have set all London talking. Reading Spanish, some people even say our father writes the books, the wonderful books, the moment it so many that dinner came as a relief to the sun of the night, and we all smell as father stood to offer her arm for rescue. She may be missed, one can reach his below. My own personal impression are that she is somewhat and strength to forward little girls who wish to Charlotte. Everyone right for the which never began at all, miss. When we went to the sofa in the study and made a low word now and then to our kids, the girl demurely and more than children and sat round still as me. Father was too much perturbed by the ground and the science to be able to come with it all at all. After Miss had left, I was surprised to see my father open the front door with his hand on his put his finger to his lips, walk out into the darkness and shut the door quickly behind him long afterward. Mr. Prodgett asked me if I knew what had happened. It was one of the even things Mrs. Prodgett had ever since in her life. The one who had all came expanding so much delightful encouragement and the gloom and the strength and how finally wherever by the sun by my father had quickly left the room, left the house and gone off to his club. Charlotte's friendship with it not properly close was signed in that like the first beginning of Charlotte after her death in 1855. Charlotte that's the last push in her was which applies in 1863. It made them in how such a can be born and the inconceivable about my by someone restless of individual. It made chapter now. Some travel above to teach in a boarding school in the first town of village where she and little different from her own and falls in love with a man calling who she cannot marry her express herself in a breakdown, but even she aren't running her own school, a substantial amount of the is in the Frank's visit. Charlotte returns to run for a first-person that of Lucas showed that she had used in of her own life as in for even her working of the time she spent as the pun in Brushingville was by one of the day as a and one piece of writing and it was sent for corners and for not beginning in its time of Lucas this before the of Charlotte used a person of for order bell knock. Her father, who has long been in love with her, she invited turned down his and her father objects to the army at last because of his son who believed that could clear and different students that were different for a woman, saying Charlotte to consider the positive aspect of each and turn to use her contact to an engine. Finally, Charlotte was attacked by January 1854. She had expected his trouble to take the approval of her father by April, and in June they took their honeymoon, in which Charlotte became son after her wedding, but her hand blinded, and according to her, she was attacked by hand of birds, and every reason she died with her unborn child on 31 March 1855, aged 38. Her death gives the cause of death but many lessons that she did from and to her passed by several morning sickness or happiness. There is also that she take the household oldest son who dies before her. Charlotte was interred in the family visit in the class of and all angels at the first Charlotte had was pushed in 1857. The film of a new she had been working in her last year has been shooting complete by the more famous began born for the unfinished by Charlotte by her born in 2003. Most of about the angel have also been pushed since her death. A perfect to the first and the Jan began on I give no this second and a few words both of and which mark my things are done in 3 questions to the for the air it has into a plant high tail with few to the press for the fair fall at harness. Harness means happy thing has opened to an object to my hands for the air they take the and they send and libel have an unknown and uncommon the press and the are but for me, and I must think them in things, but my words are different, so are who have met me as only that does. And high men know how to earn and strongest to them to my person and the reviewers I say I thank you for my heart having taken in what I own those who have and opposed me. I turn to other class, a small one so far as I know, but not therefore to be overlooking. I mean the son or Captain Fu who took the of such books as Jane in whose eyes whatever is unusual is wrong, who as do take in each project against that of camera and to that we of God on earth. I won't say to each new object I would remind them of the simple truth. It's not self, and it's not really to attack the first. It's not to to push them out from the face of the. It's not to life and simple heart to the crowd of them. Those things are deeds, and when they are as deep as it's written for men too often confront them, they should not be comforted in, should not be for truth, that only tend to end, and when a few should not be sting for the word remaining grace of Christ. There is a difference, and it is a good and not a bad action to make born and clearing the lines of between them. The world may not like to see those ideas discovered, for it has been to build them, finding its covering to make them so pass for them to let pass for it may hurt him who dare to think and expose to raise the and show meeting under it to and but has it well, it is into him did not like because he never forgot him, but evil problems he likes the son of him better, yet makes him has exposed a death, and had he but stopped his arms to him and opened them to the there is a man in our own days whose words are not familiar to who through my thinking comes before the great ones of much as the Son of came before the of day and sun, and who speaks truth as deep with a power as like and as little a man as the lust, and as dream it's the safest of very fair in height. Please, I cannot tell, but I think if some of the he holds the grass fall of his hand, and over whom he finds the lamb of his were to take his own in time they are their sins may yet express of why have I unto dismay I have unto him ready, because I think I see in him in taking perform and more increase that his own have yet, because I regard him as the first son of the day, as the visit master of that working crops, who would restore to the system of things, because I think no common on his yet has yet found the that in him the thing which he they say he is like finding they talk of his words and powers he reveals, feeding as an angel does a man feeding could stoop on, but he never does his what is brain has but both the same to his son, that's the man shit and playing under the edge of the summer could those to the their speech he had in its room. Finally, I have to Mr. because to him, if he well expects the trouble of a total son, I have this sound of John December 21, 1841. Oh my God! Note to the tree eater. I alive myself of the oven which a third of June afford me of again just a word to the prince to accept that my claim to the little of serious on this one works along, if therefore the authorship of other works of has been to me and is what it is not and the where it is it, this expression of several truths which may already have been made and to April 13, 1848. Ugh. Oh my God, there was no postponement of taking a walk that day. We have been needed in the lifeless in an hour in the morning, but since dinner, Mr. worried when there was no coming, a leader could win as sport with its could so and arrange so that further outdoor exercise was now out of the question. I was full of it. I never like long walks, especially on afternoons. Delightful to me was the coming home in the raw with nails, fingers and toes, and a heart by the challenge of blessed and humbled by the of my intentions, John and with the Saint John and were now around their maid in the drawing room. She lay on a sofa by the fire and with her delights about her for the time nor crying, looking perfect, happy me. She had displayed for joining the group, saying she's here to be under the curse of keeping me at but that until she heard for blessed and could discover by her own that I was in good and to execute a more strength and childlike and a more and something from more than as it were she really must me from my interpreting only for content. Happy little children, what does blessing say I have done? I asked John. I don't like kind of question. Besides, there is something different in a child talking up her elders in that manner. Be sent somewhere and until you can speak properly remains a bedroom under the drawing room. I slept in there. It's a book cause I concerned myself of avoiding taking care that it should be once door with when I moved into the window. Sat getting up my feet. I said cross that like to shake and heavily. Grow the red morn close I was shared in birth. Found of dispersion in my views to the right and to the left, where the cleaner plans of gas protect, but not spare me for the dead November day at returning over the life of my books. I studied the effect of that afternoon after it over a place. rank of rank and put a sense of rigor and starvation. We classless ran sweeping away before a long and I read to my book, The History of Russian. Therefore, I cut little foreign speaking, and yet there were pages that, child as I was, I could not pass with. As a bird, there were those of the rocks and ponds, but them only of the coast of Norway with its less for its the land or next to the North Cape were the north in which round the neck instead of fastening and the shrine in amongst the stormy. Nor could I pass until the second of the backskirt of the ice like green with the visit sweep of the June and those full of space, but weary of frost and snow were faint of ice. The end of in about high surrounding the poles and the multiplication of action cold of those days with remains an idea of my own. Shall like all the half notice that for the children, but in perceiving the word in those. Stop, dog. In her pigs contain themselves with the same reasoning and give thing to the rock standing up along in a sense of brawny and spare to the broken boat standing on a coast to the cold and moon truth of could as a wind just shaking. I could not tell what single hottest the quick what which is not hot hands it's cat it's too sweet it's low by a broken wheel as its reached the hour of 11. The two ships became on a term that I believe to be the fine thing down the cliff peg behind him. I passed over quickly. It was an object of terror. Alright guys, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. So sorry.